I'm going to try and figure out what happened to James Van Der Beek. First, let's clear something up right away. James Van Der Beek is alive and well. If you clicked on this because you were worried, confused, or shocked by a dramatic headline, that reaction is exactly what those kinds of titles are designed to trigger. The idea that something tragic may have happened to him is a classic clickbait tactic, a strategy built on grabbing attention first and worrying about accuracy later. The internet has made it easier than ever for information to spread. Unfortunately, it has also made it easier for misinformation to spread just as quickly. Sensational headlines about celebrities are especially powerful because they tap into something deeply human, our curiosity about public figures. We grow up watching them, listening to their music, following their careers, and in some ways, we feel connected to them. So when we see a headline hinting at something shocking, we instinctively want to know more. That's how clickbait works. A headline suggesting that something terrible has happened to a well-known actor like James Van Der Beek is crafted to provoke an emotional response. It creates urgency. It creates mystery. It makes you think, wait, what happened? And before you know it, you've clicked. But the reality is far less dramatic and far more ordinary. James Van Der Beek, best known for his breakout role as Dawson Leery on Dawson's Creek, has continued working steadily in television and film for years. He has appeared in a variety of projects, often poking fun at his own image and embracing self-awareness in a way that has earned him respect from fans and peers alike. After Dawson's Creek ended, he didn't disappear. Instead, he took on roles in series like Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, where he played a fictionalized, exaggerated version of himself, a clever move that showed his sense of humor and willingness to evolve with the industry. He also competed on Dancing with the Stars, reminding audiences that he's still very much present in the entertainment world. So why do rumors like this even happen? Celebrity death hoaxes have been circulating for decades, but social media has amplified them in ways that were once unimaginable. In the past, a false rumor might have appeared in a tabloid magazine and faded quickly. Today, a single misleading post can be shared thousands, even millions of times within hours. These hoaxes often follow a predictable pattern. A dramatic headline appears, usually vague but alarming. It may reference tragic news or heartbreaking reports. Sometimes it uses suggestive wording that doesn't technically make a claim but strongly implies one. Readers fill in the blanks themselves. That's the psychological hook. We are wired to pay attention to threats and surprises. When a headline hints that something awful has happened to a celebrity we recognize, our brains light up with urgency. Even if we're skeptical, we still feel compelled to check. It's human nature. Unfortunately, this tactic can cause real harm. For fans, it creates unnecessary distress. Imagine scrolling through your feed and seeing what appears to be devastating news about someone you've admired for years. Even a few moments of panic or sadness are unfair when the information isn't true. For the celebrities themselves, death hoaxes can be deeply unsettling. Some have spoken openly about the strange experience of reading their own false obituaries. Others have had to reassure family members and friends who were frightened by rumors. James Van Der Beek has remained active and engaged with his audience. He regularly shares updates about his projects and his family life. Far from disappearing, he has embraced a more balanced public presence, one that blends professional work with personal authenticity. In recent years, he has focused not only on acting but also on personal growth and advocacy. He's spoken about fatherhood, mental health, and the importance of being present for the people who matter most. These aren't the actions of someone fading away from public life, they're the choices of someone redefining success on his own terms. The broader issue here isn't just about one actor. It's about how we consume information in the digital age. Clickbait thrives because it exploits emotional triggers. It prioritizes engagement metrics over truth. The more shocking the headline, the more likely it is to be shared. And once something is widely shared, it can start to feel credible simply because so many people are talking about it. This phenomenon is sometimes called the illusory truth effect. When we see a statement repeated often enough, we're more likely to believe it even if it started as a baseless rumor. Celebrity culture adds another layer. Public figures exist in a strange space where they are both real people and media symbols. Headlines treat them as characters in an ongoing story, constantly needing dramatic twists to keep audiences interested. But behind those headlines are real human beings with families, careers, and feelings. James Van Der Beek's career is a good example of how narratives can shift over time. Early in his career, he became closely associated with a single role. For many people, he was Dawson. But actors grow, industries change, and audiences evolve. Rather than chasing the exact same spotlight he once had, he chose projects that reflected his personality and stage of life. That kind of evolution doesn't always generate flashy headlines, and that's often when clickbait steps in. If there isn't a dramatic update, some corners of the internet try to manufacture one. Another factor that fuels death hoaxes is algorithm-driven content. Social media platforms prioritize posts that generate strong reactions. Fear, shock, and outrage are powerful engagement drivers. When a misleading headline sparks those emotions, the platform's algorithm may push it to even more users, creating a feedback loop. It becomes less about accuracy and more about performance. So what can we do about it? First, pause before reacting. If you see a shocking headline, take a moment to check the source. Is it a reputable news outlet? Does it cite verifiable information? Or does it rely on vague language and unnamed sources? Second, look for confirmation from multiple reliable outlets. Major news organizations typically verify significant events before reporting them. If only one obscure website is making a dramatic claim, that's a red flag. Third, consider the possibility that the headline is intentionally misleading. Many clickbait titles are technically phrased to avoid outright lies while still implying something untrue. They may say someone was rushed to the hospital without context, or they may reference tragic news without specifying what actually happened. Learning to recognize these patterns can make you a more informed consumer of media. It's also helpful to remember that a quieter public presence doesn't mean something is wrong. Not every actor remains constantly in the spotlight. Some choose to step back, focus on family, or pursue projects outside mainstream attention. That's not a disappearance, it's a life choice. James Van Der Beek has spoken openly about prioritizing his family and creating a lifestyle that aligns with his values. In an industry that often rewards constant visibility, choosing balance can be a radical act. There's something refreshing about seeing public figures move beyond the pressure of perpetual fame. It challenges the assumption that success must always look the same. Sometimes success is stability, sometimes it's privacy, sometimes it's growth. The takeaway from all of this is simple but important: be mindful of the information you consume and share. When we click on misleading headlines, we inadvertently reward the behavior that created them. Engagement tells content creators that sensationalism works. But when we prioritize credible sources and resist the urge to amplify unverified claims, we help shift the culture towards something healthier. Misinformation isn't just about politics or world events. It shows up in entertainment news, celebrity gossip, and everyday social media posts. And while a celebrity death hoax might seem harmless compared to other forms of false information, it still contributes to a broader environment where truth becomes secondary to attention. James Van Der Beek is living his life, working on projects, and sharing moments with his family. There's no mystery disappearance, no hidden tragedy behind a dramatic headline. The only real story here is about how easily we can be pulled in by emotionally charged wording. So next time you see a headline that makes your heart skip a beat, take a breath. Look a little closer. Ask yourself whether it's designed to inform you or to manipulate you. Staying informed in the digital age requires intention. It requires skepticism without cynicism. It means caring enough about truth to verify it. And sometimes it means recognizing that the most dramatic headline isn't the most accurate one. James Van Der Beek is still here. The only thing that happened is a reminder of how powerful and how misleading a few carefully chosen words can be. Thanks for the watching and subscribe.